Okay, thank you. Let's start. I guess other attendees can be able to join in the webinar time. Let's start together.
Yeah, sure. Let's start. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Öncelikle herkese merhaba diliyorum. Bugünkü webinarımıza sıcak bir hoş geldiniz demek istiyoruz. IT Now, ağınızı koruma ve siber saldırıları önleme misyonuna sahip bir siber güvenlik ürün ve teknoloji şirketi olan SecPod Technologies ile bir ortaklık kurdu aslında baktığınız zaman. Bu ortaklıkla birlikte SanerNow dediğimiz bir güvenlik ürününü aslında bünyemize kattık ve Türkiye'de hizmetini sunmaya başladık. SanerNow ne işe yarar derseniz, SanerNow sistem ve network'ünüzü daha güvenli hale getirmeye yarıyor aslında baktığınız zaman. Bir güvenlik yazılımı, ama bildiğiniz böyle standart bir güvenlik yazılımı olarak düşünmenizi istemeyiz. Yani bir geleneksel yaklaşımla bakmıyor tamamen olaya ve modern bir yaklaşımla bakıyor. Modern bir güvenlik çözümü olarak bakıyor. Bir cyber hijyen dediğimiz bir cyber hijyen teknolojisine sahip kendi içerisinde. Yani aslında siber olarak ne kadar hijyenik olduğunuzu söylüyor sizlere. Ve bunu da tespit ederken hem sistem tarafında, yani sistem cihazlarınızı, sunucularınızı, client makinalarınızı, aynı zamanda network tarafında, yani routerlarınızı, switchlerinizi, firewall'larınızın da güvenlik açıklarının neler olduğunu söylüyor sizlere baktığınız zaman. Bunun için bunu dünyada aslında yapabilen çok sınırlı sayıda ürün var. SanerNow, SecPod SanerNow da bunlardan bir tanesi baktığınız zaman. Ve gerçekten bu işte başarılı bir ürün. Sadece artık geleneksel yaklaşımda sadece sistem vulnerability ile bakılırken, modern yaklaşımlarda artık sistem ve network vulnerability'ye bir arada bakılıyor. Ve bir patch management algoritmasıyla bakmıyor aslında SanerNow olaya. Tamamen vulnerability management, yani açık yönetiminden giderek patchlerin nasıl yapılması gerektiğini söylüyor sizlere. Yani sadece bir patch management yazılımı değil aslında baktığınız zaman. Bir vulnerability management, yani açık yönetimi. Size nerelerden saldırı gelebilir? Nerelerde eksiklikleriniz var? Ve sisteminizde ve network'ünüzde nasıl uyumsuzluklar var aslında? Bunları söylüyor, bunları derecelendiriliyor ve derecelendirilmesine göre önceliklendirerek yapabiliyorsunuz aslında baktığınız zaman. Kısaca bu bilgiyi de vermek istedim sizlere. Bugün SecPod'un ürün içeriği pazarlamacısı Shivat Maja geleneksel güvenlik açığı yönetiminin sınırlamalarına ve SecPod SanerNow gelişmiş güvenlik açığı yönetiminin modern siber saldırılarla mücadele sürecini nasıl yeniden icat ettiğine kısa bir bakış sunmak için bizimle birlikte. Ayrıca SecPod'un bundan sonra üzerinde çalıştığı diğer yenilikçi çözümleri de birlikte göz atabilme şansımız olacak. Oturumun sonuna doğru soru cevap bölümümüz olacak. Sizden haber almak ve sorularınızı cevaplamaya çalışmak isteriz bu arada. Sorularınızı sohbet kutusuna gönderebilirsiniz. Zoom'un sohbet kutusuna. Başlamadan önce bu web seminerinin kayıtlı bir sürümünün talep üzerine sunulacağını hatırlatmak isteriz bu arada. Ayrıca bu oturumdan sonra e-postanıza bir kayıt göndereceğiz. Böylece bu kaydı, bu web semineri izleyebilirsiniz ve çevrenizdeki diğer kişilerle de paylaşma şansı bulabilirsiniz. Bize katılanlara tekrar hoş geldiniz diyorum ve sözü Shiva'ya bırakıyorum. Shiva, thanks. You can go on right now for your presentation.
Thank you, Murat. Thank you very much, and marhaba everyone. So, first off, I just want to thank IT Now, our esteemed partner, for giving us an opportunity to present us the idea of vulnerability management and what we SecPod and what SanerNow is. So let's start off with the webinar. Welcome all attendees, and once again, thanks to our partner. So reinventing vulnerability management. So let's start off with three big words itself. So reinventing vulnerability management. So it's a modern organization, and in modern organizations, that means complex cyber attacks and complicated networks. And a simple antivirus is often not enough at all. And so what we need is a cyber defense. And that's where vulnerability management comes into play. So vulnerability management for the past few years has been going on the same way itself, and there has been no improvement. Cyber attackers are constantly trying new innovative ways of getting into your network and breaching your security. But vulnerability management has remained the same, and it needs a desperate reinvention. So that's the idea of this webinar, and we hopefully want to tell you how we can help you reinvent vulnerability management. So giving you a brief look about what SecPod is. So small beginnings. We initially started off in the year 2008, based in USA and India. So it started off with a small group of people with big dream of building a big company. And right now we are 100 plus, and we are mostly based in Bengaluru in India and in US, California. So in the year 2008, SecPod was born. And so in 2009, we started off with collecting intelligence. So we started off by creating a database of vulnerabilities and CVEs, so also known as SCAP, which was commercial grade and of very high quality. And we, in the year 2012, we decided to launch it as an OEM service. So we, in the year 2012 itself, so we worked with some big names like Amazon, Cloud Passage and Alien Vault to improve their security with combining with our excellent intelligence SCAP repository. But then we too wanted to protect networks, and we wanted to make it better. So we took a good look at the vulnerability management market, and we asked the question ourselves, how we want to protect this network. So what is lacking right now in vulnerability management market that we want to improve? So you used to have a vulnerability scanner in your network, and then the scanner used to typically scan your network, take a long time, churn out a result, and then used to manually look at all the vulnerabilities and then use another tool to patch. So this used to be a very lengthy process, and we wanted to change that. So in the year 2015, we launched SecPod Saner. So it was an endpoint scanning, and it was also a remediation and compliance product. So what started off in 2015, after many revisions and improvements and innovations, so in the year 2016, we added endpoint threat detection and response. And then further in the year 2018, we launched SanerNow as a SaaS platform product for security risk and compliance as an all-in-one solution for preventing cyber attacks. So, and then in the 2021 year, we again completely revamped our scanning capabilities, and we launched the SanerNow network vulnerability scanner and added more capabilities and features for that. So, and what we have right now is one single unified product for vulnerability scanning, vulnerability mitigation and remediation, and as well as endpoint security risk compliance as well. Recently in the year 2023, so we have also launched one more new product, completely new innovation in the cybersecurity market called postal anomaly management as well. So this is like a brief idea about SecPod, and also a look into how vulnerability management market has not been doing much. So they have been just creating newer tools, but not actually solving the problems you and I face every day, the CISOs, the system admins, and the IT administrators face every day. So going on ahead, so here are some of our customers. We have some big names like Amazon Web Services, Aruba, and we also been working with lots of organizations in different countries. So we also have a coverage of over 25 plus countries with 98% retention rate. So, and one major advantage of our product is like it's a very quick scanner. So more than 1.1 billion scans are performed yearly using our tool, and the scans accuracy rate is around like 99.99. So over 6 decimal digits accurate it is. And then you can just take a look at the numbers, and that itself gives you a good look into the quality of the product. Moving on, so today's agenda. So I asked you the question in the start as well. So why reinvention? And I'll be explaining a little bit more about how the reinvention is going to happen. And in the end, we'll take up questions. So please make sure that ask us any questions, you can just ask us in the chat. So we'll be taking up in the end, and hopefully we'll be able to answer everything. So moving on, so why reinvention? So the biggest issue for any organization is cyber attack, and cyber attack prevention begins with vulnerability management. So it has always been like that, and vulnerability management plays a very important role in cyber attack prevention, and that's why in the pyramid here, cyber attack prevention should be given the most importance, and vulnerability management should happen at a prevention stage. It should not be like vulnerability management, a cyber attack happens and I'm going to recover from it because I couldn't prevent it. The way we perform vulnerability management should be in such a way that prevention is our most important focus, and then everything else matters next. So prevention, then detection, response, and recovery. And we want to stop all cyber attacks before it even happens itself. So, and we cannot do that with traditional vulnerability management. So from before, like past 20, 25 years, it has always been a simple, fairly simple process itself. So identify, assess, prioritize, remediate, and report. And the entire process has always been a lengthy and difficult one. So identifying and assessing using a vulnerability scanner, typically, it used to take a lot of hours, maybe 8 hours or even days sometimes, using traditional tools. And then what these tools used to do was just send out a lengthy report of hundreds of pages with all vulnerability information. You didn't know what to remediate first, which security risk was high or critical or which was low, and prioritizing was always difficult. And there was also an element of manual work there as well. So prioritizing vulnerabilities used to be difficult, and then remediating them using another patch management tool, which had no link with the vulnerability scanning tool. So again, a manual work of choosing which vulnerability to patch first, and the security element of patching itself was lost in translation. And then after everything, after the remediation was done, again, to check if the patch had happened, you had to again scan. So it was a very lengthy process, and traditional vulnerability management couldn't effectively combat cyber attacks. So like, what are the pitfalls of traditional vulnerability management? So basically, here are some points that give you an idea of why traditional vulnerability management is just not good enough. So for example, when you take traditional vulnerability management, you're only scanning for software vulnerabilities in your applications. So vulnerabilities beyond CVEs are often overlooked. Things like misconfigurations, posture anomalies, asset exposures, none of those things are actually even considered in your vulnerability management stack. And cyber attackers don't care about what you try to fix. They are going to find out any and every possible way of getting into your network. And modern networks are very huge in attack surface, and other vulnerabilities like misconfigurations and all are often the entry points for modern cyber attacks as well. And further, siloed approaches makes the entire process of vulnerability management complex and chaotic. So siloed applications, using multiple tools to perform vulnerability management. So using a tool to scan and then another tool to patch. This used to be always difficult, and there was no one single solution that could do everything. And then it was also a manual process. So every time you want to do something, you have to sit, scan. If you want to patch, suddenly there's a new vulnerability that has occurred. You're supposed to scan again, check the report whether that vulnerability is there, then see if the patch is available, download the patch and apply it into all your networks. Further, traditional vulnerability management had typically, those tools will have long scans, like we previously mentioned, around 8 hours to 10 hours, or even days sometimes. And it used to not give a complete overview or complete coverage into your security risk posture. Further, sometimes these security tools would often just miss out on devices in your network without any proper visibility on what is actually secured. It used to often skip on devices, and you would not be able to get a complete view of what all are the devices in your network that are being afflicted with cyber risks. Additionally, when all of this combined with the manual process, there used to be just not enough resources to deal with volumes of vulnerabilities and patches. 20 years before, maybe around 50 or 60 vulnerabilities were detected in a month or two. But right now, more than, I think, so this time around, we have around like 3,000 or 4,000 vulnerabilities detected in the first quarter. So that's around 1,300 vulnerabilities in a month. And if you're going to do a manual process, it'll just not be enough. We don't have the manual firepower to manage that many vulnerabilities. And traditional vulnerability management had one more big pitfall in that way. And further, since there were two different tools, one for scanning and one for patching, and without any link between them, it was very difficult to instantly detect something and patch it instantly. Very high critical vulnerabilities that needed immediate attention were not given immediate attention without a single tool. So vulnerability mitigation was often delayed for months. So you take some time to scan, then you download the patch, then you wait, then you apply the patch to your network, and then you scan again. So the entire process was often taking months. Additionally, as a last point, traditional vulnerability management tools, pages and pages of reports with no proper idea of there was no clarity at all on what the vulnerability was, what the mitigation strategy you're supposed to use and stuff like that. Overall, if I want to put all of these points together, there used to be a delay in achieving security effectiveness and eliminating attack surface in order to prevent cyber attacks efficiently. So these are like some of the major pitfalls of traditional vulnerability management. Moving on. So with so many problems, IT security teams are often left to ponder. So am I actually able to cover all of the security landscape, all the security risks inside that security landscape? Why is my vulnerability assessment not integrated with the vulnerability remediation? It should be like that, right? Why can't I manage them continuously and automatically from a single unified console itself? So if all of these, if a tool could do all of that, then it'd be simple enough to actually manage vulnerabilities, and it would make the life of an IT security team or an IT admin or a security admin very simple. So moving on, our security risks, traditional vulnerability management only talks about software vulnerabilities. So what about everything else? What about misconfigurations? What about asset exposures, missing security patches, security control deviations, and security anomalies? Like I said previously, what we need right now is one solution that can manage, that can detect software vulnerabilities and other security risks beyond CVs as well. Because modern cyber attackers are getting smarter, and we must match on and be better than them as well in order to prevent cyber attacks. And they are sometimes exploiting security risks other than these software vulnerabilities, and lots and lots of pretty famous examples in recent times, for example, where from security attacks generating from misconfiguration. So it's an important thing to worry about, and it's also an important thing to focus about and try to remediate as well. So is vulnerability assessment tightly integrated with vulnerability remediation? Yes, vulnerability assessment and vulnerability remediation should never be two separate processes done by two tools with no connection at all. And if you as the human are the manual connection between those two tools, the entire process becomes very difficult. So these two processes, vulnerability assessment and remediation, should be tightly woven, and there should be a chain of link between them to effectively eliminate attack surface and reduce risk exposures effectively. And for this, what we need is a single solution that is integrated, and it simplifies and streamlines the entire process of vulnerability management. Further, so our vulnerabilities continuously and automatically managed from a single centralized console. So this is a typical dilemma of every IT security admin. he uses one tool to scan, and he's looking at one dashboard which provides some information to him, and then there is no other way of integrating it to another tool which he uses with another dashboard to do the to get any information or to perform his job effectively. So turning his head around, he's often confused, and without one single centralized solution to actually manage any of these things, the entire process of managing, detecting and managing and remediating vulnerabilities becomes very difficult. So what we need is a single centralized solution that simplifies the entire process. If you want to know what the outcomes of traditional vulnerability management are, it's very low certainty, poor control, and no continuity at all. Very low certainty in what you have been doing and what you're trying to remediate, poor control on what you want to remediate or what you want to detect, and there is no continuity in the entire process at all. So traditional vulnerability management is very limited in its capabilities, and we want to change that. So I want to invite Nishant to take over the webinar, and he's going to talk about how advanced vulnerability management is going to help reinvent the entire process and simplify it and help making preventing cyber attacks easier. Over to you, Nishant.
Thank you, Shivat Maja, and Marhaba, and Gunaiden. So Shivat Maja went and showed the challenges that organizations are facing with the traditional solutions that are already in place. And that's why we at SecPod had come up with a framework which can help you make the entire process all the more seamless and bring in the required security controls and that security framework into your organization. So the framework pretty much is, as you can see right now, where not only do we help you get visibility into your complete IT infrastructure, we also help you understand what kind of outliers, data, trends, deviations, if any, from standard configuration are there. Then the platform helps you with the detection of vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, missing patches, and other risk exposures in your environment. And once you have detected all of this, prioritization is the next step, where you can easily prioritize vulnerabilities and missing patches based on their severity. And one of the key differentiators of our platform and framework is remediation is integrated into the platform, helping you patch vulnerabilities, fix misconfigurations, and apply those security controls seamlessly. We have put a lot of emphasis on the reporting capability as well. So any actions done, be it on the detection side, on the remediation side, can easily be reported and understood with regards to what kind of outcome it is producing. So I also wanted to touch upon the few use cases which would definitely help each organization internally. So organizations, not only do you need complete visibility into your IT infrastructure with regards to what is actually there. You might have operating systems, hardware, software, network devices, all of it in your IT infrastructure, and you need to have a visibility of all those devices. You need to have visibility whether there are any unauthorized applications running in your environment on any of the devices. Are any of your devices have any outdated applications running on them? Because each outdated application, once goes end of life, is a vulnerability which could be exploited. Also, we see that a lot of organizations procure a lot of software and applications which are not utilized to the fullest extent, and we highlight those rarely used applications as well. Also, complete visibility on ports, processes, service So vulnerability detection is one key aspect where you have to report all the vulnerabilities irrespective of the severity of it. And that's what we try to provide with our platform. And not just vulnerabilities, we also highlight misconfigurations and other risk exposures in your environment as well. Now, by default, the platform runs a scan on a daily basis in your environment to uncover the latest vulnerabilities in your complete environment, then discovering the missing patches across all your devices, misconfigurations. If you have set up a benchmark, also helps you out with regards to which are the deviant and non-compliant devices. And also, if there are any asset exposures within your IT infrastructure, you will have complete visibility to that as well. So while detection is one key aspect of the platform, assessment of that detection and prioritization of those detected vulnerabilities and misconfigurations becomes the next step. And we help you very much here. So while we understand that CVSS scores has long been the typical benchmark for understanding which vulnerabilities are severe than others, but we have other parameters also included along with the CVSS scores to help you easily prioritize which vulnerabilities specific to your environment are more severe than the others. You can also prioritize certain assets which are really critical to your environment. It could be certain endpoints or certain servers which are really critical. Then we also feed all these threat intelligence that we already have in-house to help with the prioritization for your IT teams. And the idea is to help you be aware of what are the latest threats that are coming in inside your environment, and for you to be able to assess them real time. Also, our cyber hygiene score gives you a quick update on where you currently stand from a security posture standpoint. Now, remediation, since it's integrated into the platform, gives the platform an edge over other traditional solutions, giving you the capability to remediate vulnerabilities as soon as possible within your environment. You can deploy any missing patch to any OS, or you can deploy patches for third-party applications, and you can even deploy firmware updates to your endpoints as well. Not just CVEs, but also misconfigurations are equally relevant in an organization, and we help you and give you the capability to fix those misconfigurations as well. Also, you can fix deviations in your security controls, and at the same time manage any outliers or posture anomalies which might be there in your environment. And as I mentioned earlier, reporting is very key part of the platform. So everything on any action, be it a scan, be it a deployment of patch, everything can be reported with our comprehensive reporting capability. So each tasks that are done from the platform or the console, you can have reports pulled out, whether it could be a patching impact report as to how the vulnerabilities are getting affected based on the deployments that you're doing, or whether you want to understand what kind of vulnerabilities are coming into your environment, whether they are related specific to OS or any specific third-party application. So while we do have default reports which you can quickly utilize, we also give you the capability to create your own custom reports, for which we have thousands of APIs, which you can always filter and get very customized and unique reports, which you could even automate internally, so that the platform itself sends you all those reports on a daily or a weekly basis. Also, alerts is really part of helps you to act on certain aspects of the platform as well. For example, detection of any very highly severe or critical vulnerability. You can set up an alert for that. For any missing patches, for any critical patch that is made available by the vendors, you can create an alert for that as well. So the combination of this reporting and alerting mechanism helps IT teams to be more proactive in nature. Yes, and automation is one key feature which we have inculcated from the really beginning of this platform itself. All the scans that are run on the devices in your environment are automated, and they happen on a daily basis, giving you up-to-date information on what's happening on a day-to-day basis with regards to vulnerabilities. Also giving you quick understanding of what kind of assessments you need to run to gain control over the vulnerabilities that are there as well. Also, the entire process of patch deployment can be automated, either for a specific group of devices or for your complete environment to remediate vulnerabilities as soon as possible. And the capabilities or the alerting capability and the automation capability, you can respond to critical vulnerabilities at the earliest. So what are the benefits of this framework and the platform? As an IT team and an organization, you can implement a very robust and automated security framework within your organization, which would help you to prevent any of the cyber attacks from happening in the first place. And from our intelligence, we know that 95% and more of the cyber attacks that are happening on a global basis, they exploit known vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. So if you have taken care of those known vulnerabilities and misconfigurations, you have definitely made sure that you have reduced the attack surface to a minimum. Also, benchmarks like HIPAA, PCI, NIST, and SOC 2 can be implemented, helping you get a continuous compliance on the devices that are there in your environment. Visibility with regards to what vulnerabilities are there, asset exposures, misconfigurations, and risks, all through a single console itself. And the overall process of this end-to-end vulnerability management, the turnaround time is drastically reduced with regards to detection, prioritization, and remediation, since all of it is done through a single console itself. So now this framework not only helps organizations become more efficient with the resources, because they are able to now do more, that is manage more devices and endpoints within their organization with just a single console itself. And you're also reducing the total cost of ownership. And with regards to scaling it up, there is absolutely no limit to how scalable the platform is. And you can add any number of endpoints to your subscription at any given point of time. So our advanced vulnerability management platform brings in continuity to the overall process of detection and remediation, gives you more control over each of the devices and endpoints that you have in your environment, and you are all the more certain with what kind of output you can expect from this platform. And that's how at SecPod, we are reinventing vulnerability management with our platform, which is called as the SanerNow cyber hygiene platform, which works on a continuous and automated fashion, giving you all the information in the now about your environment. So, gentlemen, this is peek into what the platform primarily looks like. All the use cases that I have highlighted are catered to by the 6 modules that we have on the platform, and all are created from scratch, and they all only require one single agent on the device to power them. And information flows seamlessly from each of the module as well. So 3 key things that the platform does. One is prevent cyber attacks, automate manual tasks like scanning and patching in an environment. And third, all of it is continuous process. Single console, single agent, and we have options of both SaaS-based option as well as on-prem option for your, depending upon your needs. So the 6 modules, we have categorized them under 3 verticals. One is visibility and control, detection and prioritization, remediation and mitigation as well. Each module that you see caters to specific use cases, which I had already highlighted. I'll just give a quick brief on each of the modules again. Asset exposure, complete visibility in your IT infrastructure for endpoints, OS, software, and hardware. Posture anomaly highlights all the outliers in your environment, which could be exploited based on the intelligence that we have. And then we give you the option to remediate those outliers as well. Vulnerability management, as the name suggests, gives a complete overview of what vulnerabilities, or I would say known vulnerabilities, are there in your environment, and it gives a complete plan and visibility for each device, what is the risk count and the distribution of vulnerabilities as per their severity. Also, complete information is provided for each vulnerability depending upon the severity and the remediation for it as well. Compliance, which helps with the benchmarking of security related benchmarks like HIPAA, NIST, PCI, CIS as well, which you can even customize as per your organization's needs, and figure out which are the compliant and non-compliant devices in your organization. You can even push configuration changes using this compliance module as well. Patch management, which actually does the remediation, lets you patch all major operating systems, that is Windows, Mac, Linux, and supports patching for 400 plus third-party applications as well, covering all the web browsers, Microsoft, Adobe, and Google applications. And the last is the endpoint management module, helping you get all the more security controls over your endpoints, where not only can you run checks 50 plus for each operating system, giving you more visibility on each device, you can also utilize it for use cases like blocking and unblocking of applications, USB blocking, software deployment, uninstallation of software, registry changes, tune up, firewall changes, network changes, security changes, and so many other use cases, security related, giving you all the more capability to manage those endpoints within your environment. And from a devices standpoint, the platform supports workstations, laptops, desktops, network devices, servers, and virtual devices which might be running on Amazon, Azure, or Google Cloud. Yes, so that was a gist of what the platform offers and can bring in the value to each organization from an end-to-end vulnerability management perspective. And we request you to test the platform out and see how well it makes the overall process seamless, efficient, and less complex. So now we would be open to any questions?
Nishant, can I say something about the situation for the new feature, especially cyber hygiene score?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. In Turkish, I will go on also. Şimdi şöyle bir şey belirtmek istiyoruz. Bu arada bu yeni bir özellik. Cyber Hijyen Score dediğimiz bir skor belirtiyoruz artık sisteminizde. Yani cyber olarak ne kadar hijyen olduğunuzu aslında bu skorla anlayabiliyorsunuz. Hangi öğeler sistem ve network'teki cyber yani siber güvenlik açısından zayıf durumda, hangileri güçlü durumda ve ortalama bir puanınız oluyor aslında burada. Ve bu puanda eğer yüksek seviyede, better düzeyde veya good düzeyde bir skorunuz varsa şu an için durumunuzun iyi olduğunu söyleyebiliyoruz bu şekilde. Yani aslında siber olarak durumunuzun ne olduğunu çok kolay bir şekilde görebileceğiniz bir cyber hijyen skoru belirtiyoruz sizler için. Ve gerçekten de başarılı bir yapısı var. En zayıf noktanızı direkt olarak gösteriyor sizlere cyber hijyen skoru. Teşekkürler. Thank you, Nishant. Can you go on?
Sure, Murat. And we have a question from one of the audience members. How is SanerNow different from other tools that are in the market? So just to give you some a perspective here, while there are so many solutions out there in the market, some that only cater to, let's say, only the detection part, some only cater to only the patching aspects, some cater only to the compliance aspects. And we ask a separate question from our platform is, what if all of it could be managed by a single console itself without you having to have different solutions in place and without you having to have multiple agents running on your endpoints as well? And that's why we have been trying to do with our platform, that is make the overall process of end-to-end vulnerability management as simple as possible for our customers. And how we are doing that is giving you the console where not only can you detect vulnerabilities, you can even assess it, prioritize it, and then remediate it. So remediation again is one of the key features of the platform, giving you seamless access to remediate vulnerabilities at any given point of time, and that too as early as possible, helping your organization reduce the overall turnaround time for vulnerability mitigation from detection to remediation to as little time as possible. And since, as Shivatmaj had earlier highlighted, that 1300 plus vulnerabilities are getting detected on a monthly basis, which primarily equates to almost 40 to 50 vulnerabilities on a daily basis. So you need a platform which works day in and day out, scanning your devices, highlighting what are the vulnerabilities and other exposures in your environment, and giving you the capability to remediate them in real time as well. And that's how we differentiate from other tools in the market. Attendees can still post any questions if they have on the platform, and I'll be more than happy to address any such questions.
Nishant, if there's no question, I can go on the closing webinar side. Is anybody want to ask any question? Herhangi bir sorunuz var mıdır bu arada? Sorabilirsiniz, memnuniyetle cevaplamak isteriz. I guess not right now, Nishant.
Fantastic. So really thank the audience for being very patient with regards to what we have to showcase about our platform and how it can add value to the day-to-day life of our esteemed customers. So yeah, thank you so much. And over to you now, Murad.
Yeah, thank you. Let me close the webinar. Also closing slide. Öncelikle tekrar katıldığınız için çok teşekkür ederim. SecPod, SanerNow gelişmiş güvenlik açığı yönetimi, bunun geleneksel güvenlik açığı yönetimi sürecini nasıl yeniden icat ettiğini öğrenmek üzere bugün bize katıldığınız için teşekkürler. Umarız bu oturum size modern siber saldırılarla mücadele etme ve güvenlik açığını yönetiminizi güçlendirme konusunda biraz bilgi vermiştir. Ayrıca bu oturumdan sonra e-postanıza, kayıtlı e-postanıza bir mail alacaksınız ve webinar kaydını izleyebileceksiniz bu mail aracılığıyla ve ekibinizdeki isterseniz diğer kişilere veya yakınlarınıza, arkadaşlarınıza gönderebileceksiniz. Gelecekteki etkinliklerde sizi görmeyi 4 kez de tekrar bekliyoruz. Teşekkür ederiz. Çok sağ olun katıldığınız için. Thank you very much for all of joining. Thanks for your effort, Nishant, and thanks for your effort, Shiva. Thanks for your webinar also.
Thank you, Murad. Thank you, Murad. And thanks to Nishant as well. And thanks to all the attendees for attending our webinar.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. See you on the next webinars.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.